Welcome to Money Making Conversations. I am your host, Rashawn McDonald. It is important to understand that everybody travels a different path to success. That is because your brand is different. The challenges you face in your life are different. So stop reading other people's success stories and start writing your own. My Money Making Conversation interviews will encourage you to lead with your gifts and never use age as an excuse when planning your dreams. My next guest is an award-winning TV host / celebrity chef / best-selling cookbook author, best known for numerous Food Network and cooking channel shows. Every time I see him on TV, I'm hungry. He's the host of New Soul Kitchen on CLEO TV and is co-host on The Best Things I Ever Ate. I get mad every time I see him on that show, on the cooking channel. The best thing. He just give description because he had that little southern drawl, and he be like, when he talks, it's like the food dripping off his mouth, even though he's not eating anything. He's just one of those. There's that skill. New Soul Kitchen is preparing for its second season after winning 3 National World Awards in its first season. The show is geared towards the Black Millennial Woman because of their unique styles of eating food compared to their parents and older siblings. Despite all of the show's past success, it is changing this year. Chef Jernard will be a solo host this year. We will talk about the show's new direction and be a more health conscious manner for all of us today, especially in COVID-19. Please welcome to the show, the family chef, Chef Jernard Wells.
Hello.
Man, thought I'd never finish that, man. Chef said,
you make that introduction sound so good. I was like, dang, is he talking about me or somebody else?
Hey, Chef, he's like, okay, is my whole show interview in the intro? Is it the intro? That's all I want to know. Because I like you can keep talking, but I do have some things I want to say. And let's talk about that, what you're saying. We're going to jump around a little bit, but I want to start first with what you just said about the show is geared towards the Black Millennial Woman because of their unique styles of eating food compared to their parents and older siblings. I have a daughter who's 24, and she loves the Food Network, watches it all the time. And then now she's she was one of her favorite shows is that The Worst Cooks.
Oh,
watches
yeah.
that. She couldn't believe I interviewed Ann Burrell. She could, Dad, you know her? See, she hadn't saw you on TV. See, once, because now I have an intern at my company now, so she gets to update all the media kits. So now she gonna see your photo. She gonna go, you know Chef Jernard Wells too, because she know everybody. And so I know that really caught me off guard that here's a 24-year-old person who's watching the food channel and the cooking channel so much. Talk about that whole generation that is now, more into like the self-help, do it myself, do it yourself. And you guys are supplying that. And that is the whole cornerstone of New Soul Kitchen.
That is so true. And that's what's driving the bandwidth now. And it's funny you mentioned Chef Ann Burrell, which is a good friend of mine. Chef Ann Burrell is whom I did my first TV show with on Food Network about 11 years ago. The name of the show was Chef Wanted with Ann Burrell, and they brought me to New York City and had me to take over the oldest steakhouse in New York City by the name of Old Homestead and gave me that restaurant for a night. Amazing experience. But now the way the market is going, it is we're in a DIY or do-it-yourself society now, right, where the millennial woman is driving that.
Right.
And one of the biggest things is they see what they go to restaurants and they eat great food, but then after they eat it, they want to go home and recreate it. Versus when the people before us was going and they go in the restaurant and they eat great food, what they're saying is, I can't wait to go back to that restaurant. But the driving force that's watching TV now, when they go to the restaurants or they see it, they want to recreate that experience, not just for themselves, but for their friends, because we're in this more innovative driving platform. And then, even though the pandemic has been a big downside for a lot of people, it's been an upside for the food industry, because people who were normally eating out and living for the weekend just to eat, we were quarantined at home and they had no choice but to cook, or they was going to be eating cold cuts and bologna every day.
Absolutely. Now, my daughter, like just yesterday, she made some creamed spinach for me. I didn't even ask her to make the cream spinach. And I said, "What did you learn it?" Oh, I saw it on the Worst Cook. Cause see,
when she made me and say, "Try this, Daddy."
Right. Well, no. Here's the thing about The Worst Cook. Really is inspiring a lot of people who can't cook, because they get to see the progression. You know, a person who can't cook, making all the mistakes, suddenly at the end of the show, they can cook. And so
they can cook, and it's not prefabricated.
No,
That's
it's not.
The thing.
It's not. And so I'm just letting you know that we know I'm talking about that. But we're talking about No Soul Kitchen. But I'm just using my daughter as an example. I'm not trying to get away from the concept of who or what you're doing with your new show on CLEO TV. I'm just using the example of that you're talking about millennial. My daughter's a millennial, so she is that person that you're talking about on CLEO TV, your CLEO TV show, New Soul Kitchen, that is now driving the digital, driving the social force of your show. Now, let me ask you this about New Soul Kitchen. Did it start out like that? Was that the original concept?
Yeah, that was the original concept with New Soul Kitchen. We just as you know, with CLEO TV, it was a new network when it launched 2 years ago, and it really blossomed and took off. It took off faster than what we realized it was, and the thing was, we knew it was a need. The network knew it was a need for this, why they created it. But we didn't realize that the need was going to take off the way it did. You know, even with season 1 of New Soul Kitchen, where it was initially set up, it was me, a Southern chef that was cooking American cuisine fair, and they paired me with a vegan chef because they knew veganism was big in the millennial culture. So what they did was, going into season 2, which season 2 will be airing in October, and I'm so happy I had the ability to film season 2 literally days before the pandemic shut down New York. Wow. I was on the first thing smoking out of there. But the way season 2 is going to be set up is, of course, me as the sole host, but I have 4 amazing young women that have expertise in different fields that are going to be joining me through the 16 episodes. One young lady specializes in veganism. Another one specializes in the African diaspora. Another one specializes in keto. And then another one specializes in seafood pescatarian. So we touch on all of those areas, so you get to experience, the viewer get to experience these different cuisines. And what I do is, instead of just cooking how I typically would cook, I step into their culture and their world, and I create meals that are comparable to go just along with them. So you have, as we call it, the yin and the yang. You get the best of both worlds with this new season. Now, the cool thing is, Rashawn, New Soul Kitchen did so well, and we won several awards, 3 CLEO awards, where I also had the benefit now of having a second show. So I have a second show that'll be airing this coming year, which is New Soul Kitchen Remix. And that show is geared toward the millennial woman or man that wants to create great meals on the fly. So if you're looking to learn how to cook a meal in 30 minutes or less,
right,
I'm your man.
So that's what you do on that show. You go in there and show them how to cook a quick meal. Now, when does that air? That airs when?
That was New Soul Kitchen Remix is going to be later on this year, after New Soul Kitchen season 2 starts. New Soul Kitchen season 2 starts in October. But we hadn't got the release date for New Soul Kitchen Remix just yet.
So where will you be shooting that remix show at?
Well, I'll be shooting it at Rashawn. I already shot it. I went to New York with Powerhouse Productions, and I shot 28 episodes in 8 days.
Okay, you did it like Tyler Perry. Now, you know, Tyler Perry shooting series, 25 episodes in a week, so if Tyler Perry can do it, you can do it for a cooking show.
Hey, I said, why not? I was like an Energizer bunny. Just wind me up and just let me go.
Well, the thing about it now, what period? Now, let's slow it down here so I can make sure I'm getting all the information correct. Now, the New Soul Kitchen show was shot in New York City right before the pandemic shut down, right? That was correct. 16 episodes, 4 different female chefs. Millennial chefs are going to come in with 4 different styles. Then you're going to match their cooking styles based on how you present stuff, right?
Correct.
So, which is really smart. Not saying that the host that was there last year, actually, she just all she could do was vegan. So this year you start with a vegan, but you got the African dialysis, then you have the quinoa you said, and then the seafood. Yep. So those are four. So it maintains the interest a lot stronger and allows the people not to think it's the same old. Because guess what? Not everybody's into veganism.
You're right.
That's not nothing negative.
You're right.
But not everybody.
No, it's nothing negative because you don't have to be into veganism to eat veganism. As I always tell people, anytime you get your plate, you always gonna have your meat and two sides. So you eat vegan food without eating vegan food.
Right.
You just wash it down with a little protein.
Like that, wash it down with some meat. Like meat. That's me. You know, I'm going to have some meat in my collard greens. I'm going to have it. Now, so I might have some vegan looking greens, but it's some meat dancing in that sauce. That sauce there. Now, Chef, we've been knowing each other a long time. We came together back in 2017, and I've been fortunate to watch your journey as an entrepreneur and watch you grow. And
really sow your knowledge into me because you're an icon in this game, and I really just thank you for all the knowledge that you take time to sow into me, on and off the camera.
Well, I appreciate it because, I really call you the family chef. You have a beautiful wife. You have a large family. And so it gives you an opportunity to practice.
Those are my worst critics.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you go away to do a show like CLEO TV, okay. And I like to say, because we've always talked about you doing your own show, and it kind of feels like the CLEO TV is finally giving you your leverage to be your own brand. How is the relationship of building out your brand and tying to a show like New Soul Kitchen helping out your other entrepreneurial opportunities? Because I've seen you on Rachel Ray, you getting dropped, you getting DM'd and sliding in on the Maoris, you everywhere now, which is good, with your little hat on back.
Yes. I always take my hat on back. It's really opening up the doors. CLEO is really opening up the doors to give me a voice and a platform.
Right.
And what they did was, when I came to CLEO and we became a family, instead of smothering out the light that I had from doing the shows for countless years with Food Network and Cooking Channel, they allowed me to use that knowledge to blossom into who and what I desired and what I wanted to see. Right. That was one of the most amazing things that I really loved, especially with dealing with the execs at CLEO and the producers with Powerhouse Production is they gave me a voice, and it was, Chef Jernard, what do you envision? What do you see? What do you want to see with this show? And gave me more footing. So, and it's something about when, you could do shows and you go and you show up and they just give you the dialogue and tell you, okay, this is what we want, and nothing's wrong with that. But it's something about when they ask you, what do you want to see? What do you desire? How do you perceive your image? It gives you an extra about what you're doing and being a part of it. And by doing that, it really helped me this year has truly been a growing year, growing into who I am. But also it allowed other networks, other shows like Rachel Ray Cooking Channel to see that, hey, this man there, even though we've had this man on here for 10 years, this man really has something, and this man is really showing us that, hey, the kids in life, as I always say, you persevere regardless of what the circumstances are. And sometimes it takes other people seeing you blossom to appreciate the rose.
Now, here's the interesting thing about it is that, and I appreciate the compliments about what you said about me, because I really just feel that that's my value to individuals like you. Is not, I don't have to manage you to be able to advise you. I don't have to manage you to be able to tell you this is a smart decision and this is encourage you to move forward with that decision. Because in the end, if I die with information that can make you better, then I've done a disservice to my life. And more importantly, I've done a disservice to the person who has asked me for advice. And so you're going to always get that advice, young man. And as I call him, AKA the family chef. Now, here's the thing I want to talk about right here. You was talking about millennials being health conscious. I'm reading your bio here about the show New Soul Kitchen, which is on CLEO TV. My daughter she's been making these red velvet donuts with white icing on them, and I'm trying to figure out, you said millennials are wanting more health conscious food options. Now, I'm trying to figure out, is red velvet donuts with white icing health conscious?
Well, it's depending on how many bites you take out of it.
Well, I'm just going to tell you this, Chef Jernard. I've been eating 2 a day for 5 days in a row.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I hope they're mini donuts.
Unfortunately, you know how I eat. Come on now. If it was mini donuts, it'd be 6.
I see the Rashawn eat post, so I know how you get down.
And so I'm just kind of confused. I may have a different millennial out there.
See, the thing is, like you said, with the millennial, they truly do believe in, hey, I can have my cake and eat it too, along with everything else.
Right.
But what they do is they have active lifestyles.
Right.
And also, if you notice, with the typical millennial, when you see them, they don't overindulge like the Gen X's did. You would see them eating donuts. You would see them taking advantage of all their guilty pleasures. And then you would cut another corner and you would see them sitting eating a kale salad. And it's because, maybe it's because of the way society has started to gear things and the way they see it.
Right.
They look at food differently.
Right.
And the food that they desire to put in their bodies is different. You see them more so on, I'm cooking with wheat flour. I'm using whole grain this. I'm farm to table. Their selection of food, the millennials now, they don't typically gravitate towards the processed food like the generations prior to them. And that's one of the things which allows them to eat what they eat. When we think about it, Rashawn, our grandparents and our great-grandparents, they ate what they want when they wanted it.
Right.
From the fatback, the rooter to the tutor, you name it, they ate it, and they lived long life.
Right.
So what's the difference now? The difference is what's being put in a lot of the food.
Right.
So when you become health conscious on, okay, I can eat this, but let me figure out what's in it before I eat it, so I know how much to eat or how or when to eat it or how to cook it, and that changes it. Where we don't cook a lot with lard and cooking oils, you'll see the millennials gravitating towards avocado oil, olive oil, grapeseed oil, and it's those minute things that changes their whole diet and how their body breaks down the food.
Wow. Now I'm talking to Chef Jernard Wells, the family chef. He has shows coming back for the second season. He's the solo chef. I can say he's the solo chef, but he got 4 new additional millennial. Are they millennial chefs that's coming on the show?
Yes, they are. I have 4 amazing ladies that's on the show with me. Man, we're kicking some butt and having some fun. Look, I can tell you this on the shows. I'm eating everything. They got me eating everything from mackerel eyes all the way down the cocoa for garlic.
Woo, making it happen. But here's the funny thing, because if you know anything about Rashawn, I'm a baker. I've been fortunate to win awards as a baker. If you follow my social media posts, you will know on Tuesdays and Fridays I recognize bakers throughout America called the Baker Spotlight. Now, the one thing about baking, you make a mistake in baking, well, you might well just throw it away. Because you can't fix it.
Yeah, that's chemistry right there.
You cannot fix it. That's why a friend of mine, he emailed me last night. He said, "Do you listen to jazz when you bake?" I go, "Man, I don't listen to nothing. You can't have your mind not focused when you're baking. When it says a teaspoon or a smidge or a pinch, it best not be more than what it said it's supposed to be, or it's done." And so my wife, she was making gumbo yesterday. She's making, the crab meat. She diced up the okra. I got a little organic garden now in the backyard, so my tomatoes came fresh out of the backyard. She was chopping that up, putting it in there, and then she came and tapped me on the shoulder. We had sausage and all that stuff, and she had the sausage in there with her roux, and she said, "I don't think the roux is right." So I went over and tasted. I'm gonna tell you something, Chef Jernard, it was not right. Okay, was not right.
Oh wow,
was not right.
Yeah.
Was not right. Was not right. So I said, okay. She said, "What should I do?" I said, "Okay, this is what you do. Drain all your stuff out of that root. Okay, just drain it all out. Find you some chicken broth in the back. We always keep that in the container. And I said, give me this is what I said now. Give me Chef Jernard seasoning right here. Give me this. Give me that, and give me Tony seasoning. That little green green container. I said that's all we need right now. I said, she said, can I put a couple of cornstalk? I said, yeah, you can bring on Argo. Get Argo in here. Get Argo in here. Yeah. I said, put that stock in here, that chicken stock.
Chicken it up, yeah.
And then I said, put it half water, put everything back in there, put a dash of Chef Jernard seasoning in there, put me some Tony in there. And brother, it was outstanding. So you can save food, but you can't save a bad messed up cake.
No, it ain't nothing you can do with a messed up cake. If you got the chemistry wrong when it comes to it, you're in trouble. Right. Now, one of the things you mentioned about baking. Mm-hmm. That scale that you got is something else that you use the perfect bake.
Yes, sir.
With the measurement, now that seems like that would keep you from that's almost like foolproof.
It's almost like foolproof, but you still gotta, because it dings. If you missed a ding because you listen to some music, okay? Because it
that jazz.
Right. You know that groove and miss it when it says ding. Okay, because that's when it lets you know that it's hit that correct measurement rate, weight, filling in that cup, and so that's how it goes like that. But when I just say this to just transition to the fact that I use your seasoning, how's that all going? The seasoning, you had the hand sanitizer working during COVID-19. You're an entrepreneur at heart. How are your other entrepreneurial things besides the fact that you physically are cooking on shows, you physically are doing appearances on Rachel Ray, on your Instagram account, you're doing paid virtual appearances. How's the entrepreneurial side of you, and how did you pivot during the pandemic?
Oh man, during the pandemic, at first I was a little worried when it first kicked off, but I tell you, I've been nothing but blessed. The manufacturing business truly just took off, from all my seasonal products, because a lot of people didn't and still don't want to leave the home as much and don't want to go to a lot of grocery stores. So with the products that I create with Whole Cuisine, they are, all natural products, low in sodium, no MSGs, no fructose corn syrups. So the sales did more than quadruple,
right?
And where we had to ramp up production just to be able to keep up with it and satisfy the demand, which was most certainly a good problem to have. During the course of that, I even launched some new products in the process where I have an amazing lemon pepper ranch that I say that's great on everything. The kids truly love that one. And what I did was, because we are millennial driven, is I started leaning on my kids, my 18 and 19-year-olds and my younger ones. I started leaning on them, on their taste buds. What are some of the things that they like? What are some of the things that their friends eat? And I started creating products based around that would meet the need of them, but then still satisfy our taste buds and what we like. Because I always, I learned this years ago, was that having the shows and having that platform was one thing, but that platform don't mean anything if you don't have some true products and true things that you can attach to your brand,
right?
Even when you're not on TV.
And that's important because that's called multiple streams of income. And also some people call it mailbox money, where you sleeping, check comes. And because in the end, you can't be up making money all the time off your physical back, your effort to wake up and you have to walk out that door to make a labor. And that's how everybody makes their money. They go to a 9 to 5, but when you get in there and God is giving you these extra skill sets, you have to learn how to be smart. And that's all you're saying right now. You're just starting out there multitasking. Like I said, I got your red and white bottle of that hand sanitizer that every time you put it up, you sell out on it. I know your family's, and that's a family business because I know you put it all together at your house, right?
I did. Now we do have I do have a commercial kitchen that we produce the vast majority of our products in. But when the pandemic first hit and we couldn't go out the house,
Right.
Shoot, I had to convert a space in the house, and we had to continue to keep producing here to satisfy that demand, because even though I'm not the big companies like Kraft's and McCormick's, I still have to satisfy my customers, and I couldn't put, hey, we're closed down, and a lot of these other bigger manufacturers like my bottle suppliers and stuff like that, it came to a point where we were getting outbidded on products because bigger companies was coming in buying up the product. And, and I had to start really voicing my opinion from my company standpoint, like, hey, but I've been dealing with you guys for 10 years. You guys going to have to give me some kind of favor and some kind of leeway, because I got to survive just as well as the major companies. And that led into them making sure that I had the ingredients, making sure that I had a lot of the packaging utensils that I needed to continue to get these products shipped out to the people. Because then also we launched a syrup. We launched a no high fructose corn syrup.
Oh, yes. Hold up. I got that. Man, I put that. My daughter made some, again, my daughter, she's watching TV, watching the millennial made me some thin waffles. And I warmed up that syrup, brother, put it on there, man, with me some butter. I'm just let you know. I forgot to tell you that I apologize. I did try that syrup, and it's all gone. It's all gone.
Look, I'm going to have to make sure I see some of that. And as well as in the process, we've launched a chopping board. I have some bamboo chopping boards. I'm going to make sure I see you a bamboo chopping board. And I have a new knife line that we just launched about 2 weeks ago. So I have my own volcanic steel knife, the Chef Jernard line. Because one of the things, and I always tell people, I'm in food. So whenever I'm lunching or creating products, I try to keep it in that same wheelhouse, because a lot of people say, well, how are you doing all this? You're doing TV shows, you this, and you're doing that. Well, when you keep it all this diversified from that same wheelhouse, it's easy to maintain. So if I write a cookbook, hey, I'm a chef on TV, so cookbooks go hand in hand. If I lunch products, I'm lunching food products. That still ties in. If I'm lunching knives, if I'm lunching chopping boards, things like that are still in my wheelhouse. It's not like, I'm going out here, I'm a chef and I'm promoting this, and then you see me pop up and I say, hey, I'm going to open up a car lot, Sean.
Right.
Like, okay. You're veering off the plane a little bit.
Right. You go, okay. Wasn't he the chef? Wasn't he with a family chef? Now he's a family mechanic now? He the family mechanic
now I'm selling family van.
Right. He the family van now. Oh, hey, man, come over here. I feed you and I drive you. Let you drive away.
Exactly.
Well, I'm talking to the family chef, Chef Jernard Wells, has an exciting new season coming up. New Soul Kitchen, bringing on 4 brand new millennial shelves. Also, the New Soul Kitchen remix, which both shows have already been shot. One is 16 episodes. The other one, did you say 28 episodes?
12.
12 episodes. 12 episodes of the remix and 16 episodes, total of 28. That's where I got that 28 from.
Yeah.
And so they'll be dropping later on in the season. And so with that being said, the whole pandemic, the taking care of your family, seeing all these things play out. Just before we go, I know I promoted heavily the New Soul Kitchen show. Tell me one of your best episodes on the best thing you ever ate. Please close out my show with one of those, so I can just hear how you talk there, Chef Jernard Wells. So you're such a colorful speaker. Tell me, I'm just giving you time to get that right episode in your head. The best thing you ever ate.
Give me time. I already know the episode. The name of the restaurant is called Homemade, and Homemade is in Athens, Georgia. They have a dish that's called the ham and cheese sandwich, but it's not like ham and cheese in a traditional sense. What they do is they take that pork loin and they smoke it until it fall apart into little chunks. After they smoke it with that hickory wood, then they take a pepper jelly, put it in a cast iron skillet, drop those chunks of pork in there, sauteed where that pepper jelly is glazing all over that loin. And when they're doing it, then they're going to make a pimento cheese from scratch. And once they make that pimento cheese from scratch, then they make these milk rolls, these milk butter rolls that melt in your mouth almost like how those Hawaiian yeast rolls, except you could tell these right here are made from scratch. And when it comes out on a plate, you got those sauteed pepper jelly slices of that pork loin ham, that pimento cheese, and those milk rolls, and you build those sandwiches out, and every bite, I tell you, it's like heaven in your mouth. You literally get the itis at the table and want to go to sleep. When you see it on the menu, it says ham and cheese sandwich, but it's nothing like the ham and cheese sandwich in the traditional sense.
Man, right there, when I open my new studio, me and you gonna produce a show called Good. And I'm just gonna let you just talk about a menu item just like that. I swear to you, Chef Jernard Wells, it's gonna be a hit. My engineer, he looked over at me, he turned his head and just looked at me and went, man, he needs to stop. Because you got a skill, man. You have a blessed family, a beautiful wife, over 20 years of marriage. New Soul Kitchen is coming back this season for the second season, starring my man, the family chef, Chef Jernard Wells. Chef Jernard Wells, thank you for coming on my show, Money Making Conversations.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
All right. If you want to hear more episodes of Money Making Conversation, please go to moneymakingconversation.com. I'm Rushion McDonald. I'm your host.